been an interesting day with the ROX mod series. We had a delay. There wasn't a lot of people showing up, so we delayed the event by a couple hours. We're here at 6 p.m. and there's currently 9 drivers ready to race, although 4 of them qualified, but 5 of them didn't. We're gonna get right into that one now, as we're gonna make sure that the stream is also working, and it in fact is working. So we'll have you guys head up there in just a little bit. We've got several drivers. We will list them off in just a minute. We just post this up, and that'll also be the startup command. All right. That's the wrong source. Drivers, start your engines. That is the official command. We're now going to get onto the grid positions for today's race. Starting up in the position in 5th place today, it's all between Blue Gen, Shuffles, SPMS, Sec, and Performance Engineer. We're going to roll it. Thanks to the wheel to side, because we don't have these drivers who missed out on qualifying. Sec will start us off in 5th place. I'm going to apply the wheel change here. Now in the 6th place position, it will be SPMS. Coming up behind them in 7th, it's about between Shuffle, Blue Gen, and Performance Engineer, as it lands on Shuffle. Shuffle's going to start up ahead. So we're now left with 2 more cars. That's between Blue Gen and Performance Engineer. Who's going to start ahead? Who's going to start in the back of the field? And to everyone's relief, Blue Gen starts off ahead of Perf. That is our grid. We're going to wait for everyone to get into the cars. We've yet to see Arisnetta and Twin Turbo V6 to get into the cars. Also, I'd like to apologize. I have a sore throat. I'm kind of sick currently, so I do have those issues. Twin is now in his car, winning an Aris. It's also going to be a 20-lap race with 2 pace laps. Let's change the laps here right now. We are currently still red on the track, of course. Aris is yet to get into her car. Cut limit for today is going to be 35 cuts. You get over 35, you will get a 10-second time penalty. So try to stay careful, stay out of spins, and it should go fairly smoothly. So we also have our flagman and pace car driver. Our flagman is Jason. Nico Outs is in the grandstands. It's great to see Nico Outs. And T7 Jake will be our pace car driver for today's race. Is Arisnetta in her car? Yes, she is in her car, so we're going to get along with it. Watch the lights. We are yellow on the track. Going the car, heavy goes. Car's now taking off. It's going to be a bit awkward getting out of this pit lane, but everyone does manage to get out of it. We're going to make sure we're not too loud. We're as quiet as we can get currently. So we got 2 pace laps here. Make sure not to pass the car ahead of you. And try not to go too quick, of course. We'll be doing, I think, 50 miles an hour once we get to the corner, as Nature Channel's going wide. Not exactly a good choice there, as there's no cuts currently. That's fairly good. How's it looking with Performance Engineer? There's a mess back there. We need SBMS, everyone else to fix themselves. They're not quite up there. SBMS is out of their car. They just spun out. I need to read myself so I can watch everyone. Alright. Give space for SPMS, and SPMS, if you spin out again, you'll be dropped to the rear of the field. SPMS, take your spot back. Shuffle. Watch yourself. Let's not tire warm because we know that spins people out. It is raining. Not a great idea. He's also SPMS also goes by NASCAR fan. So we'll get onto your grid now. So again, from the back of the field, with a randomized grid system, of course, for the people that didn't qualify today, that is Performance Engineer. Ahead of him is Blue Sonic Jen in the 15 car. And in the other 15 car, that's Shuffle, otherwise known as GMP, and he has had some strong performances recently. Getting an opponent in the form of the Micros, and up ahead in the Polish Porsche in the 95, that is SPMS. Ahead of them, from down under, it is a 90 of Zek. And then from up over, from Canada, we have the 53 driven by Triple Stuntman. Having dual citizenship with Canada and the United States, we have Nature Channel in the Monster Energy 60 machine. And then up ahead of them, in the second place position currently for today, that is Arisneta in the 45 Fortune car. And finally, the Asterion Lotus machine, that is Twin Triple V6. Got one more lap here, lights are black on the track. Thank you, Jason. Once we hit the chicane, I want the pace car to start going a little bit faster. And everyone else to maintain 50 miles an hour, of course, once they reach there. And I need to personally get out of the way here. If you are done, then make sure to pull off the track. And make sure you're in the pit lane or something like that. Need a Nature Channel push up a little bit here. How is pacing looking? Pacing's looking pretty good so far. Little bunch up in the back. Everyone is very antsy. Reminder that you guys are not going to be allowed to overtake until you cross the start-finish line. As SBMS is causing a little bit of issues for pacing. If you could please push a little bit up here. It's a completely randomized grid. It's anyone's guess on who's going to win this. Twin has been dominant, but of course there's also Performance Engineer. See the board. Nature Channel's messing around the dirt track. Perf has been fast, but he's going to go all the way from the back to the front. So that's going to be a very interesting race to see. Jake now makes his way around the backstretch. So we see a single cut from Arisneta. We're going to clear that. Again, reminder that the cut limit for today is 35. Zaris also needs her laps fits. So we're going to fix that now. Eris' laps are fits. We are all ready. That's why we have an extra pace lap in case of issues like that. Once we hit the chicane, we'll have you guys increasing pace, and I will go to an orbit view. And a reminder not to overtake the car ahead of you until you cross the start-finish line. Anyone that does so will be ordered to give the spots back or serve a penalty, which will vary on severity. Maintain 50 here. Maintain 50 here. 50 miles an hour. Maintain it. Push up, push up, push up. As Twin is doing something weird. Eris, clear yourself. Cars are bunching up as we approach the start-finish line narrowly. We're now near the final turn. Watch your pace. Watch your pace. Green flag of the racetrack. As SBMS pulls off prematurely. Watching for jumps, and we look like we are good on jumps. SBMS will pull off before the start-finish line. Meanwhile, off for the lead. Arisneta smacks the wall hard. Now side by side with Nature Channel right behind them. I actually kind of feel healthy for some reason. No, I actually feel... that is weird. But anyways, Arisneta leading us off. It is a cloud of fog as Twin leads us off. How's Performance Engineer? He's already overtaken Shuffles. He now is making his way up towards Blue Sonic Jen as they make the way through the first chicane. He's pushed up hard. Shuffles falls back a little bit as well as Turbo Stuntman. Shuffles now spinning out. So we're going to look back at the front of the field. There's a huge bunch up for, I believe that is a third place position. As already by the backstretch, Performance Engineer has made it. He is there in position for third place, but Blue Sonic Gen right behind them. Cars now making their way around Sector 2. It's 3 wide for a spot. 3 wide for just a moment, and still maintaining it practically. Nature Channel is going to back off, but here's Perf. Not anything, actually. Blue Sonic Gen is going to get away from Zek and Nature Channel as they approach side by side into the chicane. We got braking action here, side by side for a spot. I believe that might be Sid's position. I will see once they cross through. As this time by, we see the cars making their way around. Perf is coming in hot. He's got a huge BOP buff, or debuff, excuse me. But it might come to his advantage as he goes wide. He's already in third place. As we see a 3-car battle stir up for the lead, potentially 3 wide, maybe? Well, Twin gets overtaken by Ayers and Perf. Perf gets loose. Perf spins out. So does Sayers narrowly, but she just about saves it. Twin takes back the lead. That's a rough loss for Performance Engineer. It looked like he had it all in the bag right there, as he's currently side by side with Nature Channel. That disadvantage might actually come out as an advantage as he makes his way around the chicane. As SPMS will be a lap down if he rejoins. That will hurt a little bit, but it is still possible the chances of a caution. As seemingly Performance Engineer has cleared Zek from a spot. That's very good for him. Performance Engineer now leads behind Zek, as Zek will hold off a 4th place spot. Nature Channel were just behind, as well as Blue Sonic Gen. All of these drivers, very heavy hitters. So, quite excited to see all of them today. So Nature Channel's going to go a little bit wide. How about Perf? He's going to start homing in a little bit on Eris Netta and the coming turns. As he runs a wide again, that's going to be a first warning for Perf. That's the second time in a row you've been extending there. That's just a verbal warning for now. As Nature Channel's made some sort of error that allows Zek to get by, potentially for a position. As Perf closing in little by little on Eris Netta. We're going to look at that board. See if things are fair. Eris gets a little bit squiggly. Perf is going to pass them. So we're going to watch still. Eris Netta right on their tails and make the way around the S's onto the back straightaway. If there becomes too much domination, I'll offer you 300 if you could switch to SPM. Actually, SPM is... Well, never mind. No call, no call, no call. Eris Netta gets a little bit collected there. I think the BOP has actually, if anything, it's helped Performance Engineer. So he's making his way around the sweeper. And will stay ahead of Eris. Meanwhile, it's absolute chaos for 4th position. Nature Channel has lost a spot. There's drifting like it's a dirt oval out here. As Nature Channel will be overtaken, actually side by side 4th position. But finally overtaken by the breaking point, but he's going to go deeper than Zek. But Zek will get the better exit as we make the way under the Sargento Bridge. And that's going to be a little bit rough there for Zek. Cars now making the round. We are 4 out of 20 laps. I could do that all night as our cars make their way around the final turn. Looks like SBMS has pulled it off prematurely. So we'll see about how BOP looks as Perf is closing in on Twin Turbo V6. Perf now going through the chicane, closing in little by little on Twin Turbo V6. We'll be checking the board. He's got a 136. Yes, we're. If you end up developing a 30-second gap, perf, I'm gonna ask for you to switch with SBMS's car. You'll probably still stay ahead by the end of it. I think the BOP kind of fucked you. It's 3 laps down. Arisnetta now spinning around. Not too great for her. That could be beneficial to the Dardastic trio. It's actually Nature Channel's fallen back quite a bit, but that's Blue Sonic Gen not too far behind. Arisnetta finally making her way into the chicane. And I am feeling the stuffiness back again, so clearly it is happening. As meanwhile, for the lead, Twin Triple V6 getting chased by Performance Engineer. So actually, if there's a caution or anything, we'll 100% ask you to switch with this SBMS's car, because appears the BOP is doing anything but balancing you. What was that, like a 136? So, Performance Engineer backing off from an overtake on Twin Triple V6. As so far, Twin, if he finishes this lap ahead of Perf, he'll be leading a quarter of the race. I think he'll stick ahead for the time being. Arisnetta just having a little bit of struggling. Of course, she's got 9 cuts, so she's gonna have to watch if she wants to evade a penalty. Won't be very good for her. Let's watch around the field, see if there's any action going around. How's it looking with Blue Sonic Gen? Blue Sonic Gen has been closing a little bit here on Arisnetta, as well as Perf. But I think the biggest battle going on is going to be between Aris and Blue Sonic Gen. It'll be a far cry for the lead, I believe. As our cars now making their way into the second to last turn. Blue Gen close into about a couple car lengths just behind Arisnetta. Aris goes wide, and Blue Gen is going to pass straight through, but Aris goes by. We're now a quarter way through, and Twin has so far led a quarter of the laps here, although Perf is closing in little by little. Same thing goes for Aris and Blue Sonic Gen. Aris will stick ahead this time around the corner. As we now make our way around to the backstretch, definitely will be in favor of Twin for the time being. He's got more power. Our car's now making the way into the braking point. It looks like the slightest little tap to the wall for Performance Engineer. Meanwhile, Blue Gen has overtaken Aris, but she's on the brakes hard. Blue Gen will stick ahead of Arisnetta off of the backstretch corner. And looks like now through Sector 2 they go. And Blue Gen for now is probably going to stay ahead of her. She gets into a bad spot. That's a really bad spot. Hits the barrier. That was a poorly placed barrier. But meanwhile, for the lead, side-by-side action here. Twin Triple V sits and Performance Engineer. Twin to the inside, Perf to the outside. As they make their way around, Twin gets loose. Perf with the BOP is going to stick ahead and gets by them. This is like watching F1, and not in a good way. So we're gonna hope for a caution eventually. Just to try to keep this balanced race. How's it looking with Arisnetta? She's been staying behind. Zek is a bit too far to do anything. I think it's currently going to be between Perf and Twin as of now. It's going to take a big mistake for Perf to lose it. This car is very hard to spin out, whereas Twin's car is just a little bit rougher. Where's he got in cuts? He's got 5. And Twin has 5 too. Twin getting a bit hot on the brakes as Perf running a bit wide. Excuse me. As our cars now make their way around to Sector 3, we're 6 laps into this race, and I think for now Perf is going to stick ahead, and probably that gap will extend until there is a caution. Well, we'll figure that one out later. Not necessarily an easy track for a caution. As there's Blue Gen currently in a podium position. It's been, he didn't have much good luck in his last Rotsma race. That was when Shy 21 stole 787B and disrupted the race, ultimately causing a caution. And on that restart, he didn't do so well. And that cost him his win. Currently, he holds off on the podium. So that's good for him. We're going to watch now from Zex POV. I think Harrison only a little bit ahead. Well, that one will develop throughout time. And I know a lot of the fans from Europe are fans of Shuffles, as he's been kind of running through the race here. It's going to be a big gap to make up with Nature. So Nature is finally making his way through. Nature has actually fallen back. So actually, that's a spot that Shuffles gained off camera. And unfortunately, could not catch what happened necessarily. As it actually looks like Twin has decreased that gap with our leader, Performance Engineer, little by little. Twin now trying to make a crossover move. He gets loose, but now it clears Performance Engineer. As Perf gonna run out behind, and let's see how it looks through the straightaway. And I think Twin's gonna stick ahead. That might be the first lap car of the night. That's gonna be Turbo Stuntman. They're still ahead, and of course a caution would be very beneficial. They got good ways to go until they're out of the race. We're already almost halfway done with today anyways. As Dale is here, actually, would you care, Dale, to actually be a cameraman, or not a cameraman, a co-commentator? As our DGS driver currently casually talking out to our leader. Perf gets the lead back. Alright. We'll have you unmuted. I find your commentary pretty good. I also sound like Squidward, so I'm just that nasally. We got a battle for the lead. I was
about to say, you sound like Squidward.
Yeah. That's because of how congested I am. But yeah, there's a battle for the lead going on between Perf and Twin Turbo V6. Although it has kind of backed off for the time being as Twin gets loose. Twin loose and has lost a lot of time out of that. How far behind is Blue? Blue just going through the carousel. They get a little bit loose, but they control their car. Definitely going to gain a couple seconds here on Twin Turbo V6. Although still quite a ways back. Turbo Stuntman unlaps himself. As
give me a couple laps to figure out what's going on.
Not an issue here. Fortunately, we couldn't see you on the drivers list today. We did see you on Friday. I don't think you were very happy about that one. Oh, Twin! Again! Twin off the track. He didn't spin, but he just about nearly did. He's going to lose that gap even more to Perf. As,
this is not the twin turbo that I know.
Well, unfortunately for Twin, Perf has Perf's BOP car, because it's heavier and less horsepower, is actually better in the rain. So,
What? Wait. You did not think that through at all. You should have given him like 1,000 horsepower and told him to deal with it. Because he wouldn't be able to get the power down.
That's a cap. That is a royal cap. I'm not quite sure what we should have done. Probably should have let it be balanced and just let it be. But currently Perf leads us off by, well, 10 seconds there. But we might be seeing a battle action between Blue Gen and Twin.
Blue's gonna make a pretty big gap up for that to happen, but alright. Zach going back there. I don't know who's racing.
Zach's the Aussie guy. Pretty nice dude.
Yeah, I like him.
So I'm trying to figure out positions here. Shuffles just around the final corner. As Nature Channel only a little bit behind. So we'll go back and watch a Twin Triple V6 as... Where is Blue Gen? Did Blue Gen spin out? No, they did not. But they got a big gap, a whole straight to have to make up here. As this time by will be the cross flags. Excuse me, sorry guys. I'm sick, so...
Shuffle just had a freaking beautiful save. If he screwed up just a little bit, he would have smacked the wall. Like that. That was beautiful. I know the camera didn't get that, but it was freaking gorgeous.
How are cuts looking so far? And cuts so far look good, although for Arisnetta, she's probably going to have to back off a little bit. She's on route. It is possible to be good, but it's going to be rough.
What's corner cut limit?
35. Oh, and that's not good to do. As the cross flags are out for Performance Engineer, we are halfway done with today's race. As here's Perfect now making his way through turn 3 into the carousel. Just cleared of competition. I think Nature Channel might be gaining a little bit here on Shuffle throughout these next couple corners. It's strange. I felt like I was completely okay for like a lap or two. Like I was suddenly not sick anymore. Then I became like sick again. I became Squidward.
Yeah, you got worse the past freaking lap, dude.
Yes. As there's not a whole lot of action currently. Of course, we're in that midway point. Did Arisnetta nearly spin? No, she did not, but she saved herself. Only really thing going on right now, as far as positions go, that's probably between Shuffles and Nature. Although we're going to look at Twin. I think there's a couple seconds separating those two, but just a little bit too far. As these rain races are very rough. But a lot of these drivers have demonstrated pretty good control throughout today. Of course, you're going to need one if you want to do well on this type of surface. Looking back to Perf, and he has 9 left in this race. So he's been cooking. It's going to take again a caution for anything to really change in this race. As Blue Gen and Twin kind of cooking something up here.
It would justify a caution, bro.
It almost would, but unfortunately, competition cautions kind of killed the flow of the race. So.
Screw it, bro. Send it. There's a freaking over 2-second gap between every single car in the field. This is boring.
Twin got a little bit loose. Where's Arisnetta? I thought I saw a car stuck there for a second. Looked yellow. I think it was just the color of the track. But Twin's been getting a little loose there. That's to the benefit of Blue Sonic Gen. As Shuffle and Nature fall into about a minute down. Arisnetta now approaching the GGS driver Turbo Stuntman. About to overlap them. It's going to take 3 laps for them to, of course, be black flag. They seem to have been holding it together pretty decently. Aris gets loose. Looks like it's going to be a little while for Turbo. How's it looking again between Twin and Blue? Still separated. And I could probably say the same for, yes. Field so far has been pretty stagnant. So I guess I might as well ask you. So, what were your thoughts coming into the Friday race for this weekend?
For the oval?
Just the weekend.
I was really excited because I really do like rain races, even though I suck at them. And now I'm sad because I'm not able to run the one race.
Oh, they're shuffling around.
Oh, man.
And the European fans definitely punching their fists in the air with frustration. That is Nature Channel, the Californian, making the way by, and they've cleared Shuffle for a position. So the Formula Micro driver has been having a little bit of trouble today.
Can't blame him. This is arguably the toughest race of the. Oh, he just almost lost it again. Had a nice save.
Unfortunately, couldn't catch someone, but he's far behind from Nature Channel. Nature Channel now clears for a spot. As I'm sure Nico's. I'm sure Jake is surprised that we don't have a caution yet.
That's what I was saying, bro. You gotta throw the competition caution back.
That's
I think it's more
unfortunate.
interesting.
Unfortunately, it's not for the flow. So
Got it.
yeah.
Turbo almost died, but he fine.
I'm pretty sure every driver in this field, except for Zach, has won a race at some point. And don't count Zach out of it. He's just not very active as a driver. I think he's only had like 5 races this year. So
Yeah, I've been watching him. He's been running smooth.
very much so. Bit of an Australian underdog from again down under. You know, I know that Kelly has given the nickname of Kangaroo to Shuffle. I'd say that's quite also fitting for Zach. He's in the Aussie car here, making his way around the final couple turns on the track.
I always imagined he would just naturally be good at track lanes because track lanes is like Bathurst but wider
Yeah.
and shorter.
He talked a fair bit of excitement coming up to this race today. Of course, it takes a lot of car control, and that's something these Australians tend to really be good at. It's just under uncomfortable conditions, just managing control out of their car. So we're going to watch again, see how Shuffle's looking. Shuffle's fallen back quite a bit.
Bro, for the love of God, throw a competition caution.
I can't throw a competition caution. That's not in the rules.
Bro, come on. It's 17 seconds for the lead car to the second.
Rules are rulers. So,
There
fortunately,
isn't a rule against it. Perf pulled into the pits. Oh, what?
Perf is pulled into the pits. He's now swapped cars, and I didn't even ask him to do this, but I suggested to it. I did kind of ask him if he's going to be 30 seconds ahead. He's 17. He's decided to run in the same car as everyone else. He's in the SBMS car, the Polish Porsche 95 machine, now out in front of the field. Still stays ahead with basically a pit stop. Entire car.
That's freaking brutal, man.
Still 12 seconds ahead of Twin, so now everyone in the field in completely equal machinery. Oh, the Perf wreck. He did wreck.
Yeah.
But that's a big gap of Twin he's got to make up.
Twin might have a shot at
As Perf is realizing how much different this car drives, he's got to be a lot more gentle. He's very ginger on that throttle. So now we get to see some awesome fair competition here, potentially here. Coming up to 5 to go this time by. You can see Perf just ahead of Twin. So I guess we didn't need a comp caution. Perf himself decided he wanted the competition.
Yes.
So he's swapped to another car. And usually this would make me pissed off, but I honestly accepted this situation. Kudos to you. Fortunately, it looks like
right there,
yeah, Twin is catching up very, very fast. So Perf has got no experience on this car. He's not even used to a normal car. But Twin on the other hand, has been driving like this for a very long time. Knows the cars. He's got 2 championships under his belt, so he basically knows what he's doing.
Oh my freaking gosh! Twin has cut down the gap. He's right there. This is amazing. Going to the final set of corners. Oh, Twin gets off.
I would like to give these guys a high five out of it. And Twin gets back to Twin's back up front as Dale here exclaims excitedly, "I know Jake is happy for his team."
Excitement is happening.
Again, we just gotta say to drivers like Perf, you deserve a high five. You deserve a cookie.
Yes, I will give you extra large. What?
Extra large what? But unfortunately, it's gonna probably have to learn this car if he wants to keep up with Twin. As Blue Jet here, I've got down to 14 seconds. Arisonet's got a big gap.
Perfect.
Perfect again. It's a total pity here. Twin is starting to get away with it. So, went complete 180. It was perf domination. Now it's twin domination. Maybe it might change. We're five laps to go. So our flagman has been doing his job pretty darn good.
Yes.
As Jason, of course.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Good job, Jason. You're my favorite.
As we make our way around. I'm sorry that I sound like I'm dying. So, a bit of a gap he's got to make up there. It's still possible, I think, in this realm. He's got to learn very soon. Twin's already under the bridge.
Jeez, bro.
That was, of course, from T7 Jake opting that idea. As Twin makes his way around into the pit lane. What is Twin... What the bloody hell is Twin doing? He's doing a pit stop. He does a full pit stop.
Oh my gosh.
Does a whole pit stop, and he's done F1 style. He's out.
Hang on a second. Is that fucking... What is that?
What the fuck is going on, man?
I don't know.
Bro.
Oh, Blue Gen! Blue Gen and Perf! We are 4 to go, and this has become one of the races ever.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the races ever.
As Perf gets overtaken by Blue Gen, but Twin has done an entire pit stop.
What is this, man?
I don't know at this point. This. You better get your popcorn now. This is great stuff.
This is freaking...
Yeah, it almost makes me feel a little better for how hectic this weekend has been. I didn't think we were gonna do. Oh, there's Perf backing off. That's rough for Perf.
I don't even know, bro.
It's gonna come a little bit tougher these next couple laps here, as Twin's making its way around. I'm wondering if he's thinking about doing another pit stop, because that was very interesting. Oh, he's loose.
Yeah.
He saves it though. Now he could probably get away with another one, honestly. I don't know if he'd want to though, because that's really kind of the gap close with Blue Gen and Perf. He drifts his way through the chicane, and we're going to see 3 laps to go once he crosses the line. Or, well, of course, if he does a pit stop, we'll see who else then. Zek announces that he has to go. So, if it's possible for you to pull off, would be appreciated. If you, I think you're approaching the last sector here.
Twin pulls in. Twin pulls in.
Twin pulled in again. Does another pit stop. What the hell is this? Blue Gen gets by!
Oh my gosh.
And this could, in fact, be Blue Gen's first win. He's had an honest race here. Just driving very casually. You got 3 laps left here. But, yeah, Zach, if you could pull off in the next couple turns. The pit lane's right there. We appreciate it if you could make the full distance.
What is this, man?
I don't know.
What is this race?
I don't know. This became a tire skid of Ricky Bobby, basically.
This became hands down one of the races.
Yeah, there's Zek pulling up, and meanwhile for the lead, it's very close, bumper to bumper, nearly between Twin Triple V6 and Blue Sonic Gen. They make their way down the back straightaway into the breaking point, and it goes from 1,000 all the way to 0 there. How are we on corner cuts? Looks like Blue Gen is actually awfully close. He's got only 3 cuts until he gets a 10-second time penalty. So pretty much completely confident for Twin. Of course, he backs off a little bit. Arisnetta actually has been pretty good on cuts. She's cleared Performance Engineer. So that might be... that guy... I almost felt bad for that.
Turbo gets back.
Turbo gets back. We're side by side for the lead. Blue Gen and Twin Turbo V sits. Now making their way into the second to last turn, side by side for the lead. Our cars making the way down the second to last straight here. It's into the breaking point. It looks like Twin gets a better exit. We got 2 laps to go. Yes, Twin is getting close in by Blue Sonic Gen. I think they're inside each other, although Blue is a little more conservative on the brakes. Blue Gen right on the bumper. Twin Turbo V sits, and now to the breaking point. As Eris, if you can watch Eris and Perk, because that seems like a battle too.
I was trying to do that.
Yeah, both of them are battling like just complete madmen. The battle for the podium, the battle for the lead, of course. As we're closing in, next time by will be the white flag.
Arizona spins out and lets Perf get that third spot.
Perf's going to hold off third place for now. I'm sure everyone wants to basically kiss this guy. As our cars now make their way down the braking point, I think that Twin Turbo V6 is gonna hold off Blue Gen for the time being. They've about extended the gap to just about a water spout. So next time by will be the white flag. They're approaching it now down the straight into the chicane. Jason, if you could handle that for us, would be greatly appreciated if you're there. So,
Earth spins out.
That's going to allow Perf to get through for third place. So we're now closing in on the final lap. Blue Gen gets a little bit loose. This is his opportunity to make up for his previous loss back in Göteborg. There's a white flag in the air for our race leaders and everyone else behind them. About a second gap there between first and second place. They make their way into turn number 1. And I'm not sure which race was more exciting this year, or the fall or the spring race. Both of them were pretty good, actually, but this has been something. I don't think I've ever seen a race with so much tomfoolery. There's Twin holding up Blue Gen.
I love a bit of tomfoolery.
I think the leader's closing in for the second time on Turbo Stuntman, excuse me. As more than likely he's going to take a big mistake for Blue to get by for the lead. Twin is just leading and extending his gap. So he is currently en route to win this race. Turbo Stuntman just ahead of him, kind of covering the lines. I wonder if that could prove to be a slight distraction for him. No more than I'd say it is for Blue Gen, though, as Turbo goes wide and clears off the leaders. I don't think it wants to be too big of a distraction. Twin Turbo V sits now for the final time down into the chicane. We'll see this track next year, of course, as we go under the Cheese Bridge down to the right-hander in Sector 3. Twin's got a clear track ahead of him and a pretty good gap between him and Blue Gen. He gets a little loose, but I think as it goes, we go to the final turn. He goes into the pit lane. This might just about be a photo finish. Blue Gen hits the wall. Twin wins it in the pit lane. Blue Gen gets second place. And then coming into third is Performance Engineer. Aries Netta.
Oh my
now
God.
into the final turn.
What?
Aries finishing in fourth.
What?
Turbo is going to cross it in 7th as we see Nature Channel spinning out.
No way.
Shuffle's coming in here. Shuffle's coming in. We can see a battle for a position, but Shuffle gets loose. He's drifting around. So it's going to be between these two for a spot. Let them have the track, folks.
Yep.
It might be in. There could be a position swap. These two are racing in for 5th place. So these two have been at it throughout the race. And so far, Nature Channel will stay ahead. It's going to take a big mess up for anything to switch otherwise. I know a lot of those European fans want something to happen. A lot of the Californians, of course, wanting Devin Hugh to stick ahead. We make our way to the second to last turn. And Devin Hugh is conservative. And Shuffle spins out! Unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, Nature Channel comes across the line in 5th place. 6th place is going to be taken over by Shuffles. They make their way through. And that'll be the field for today. Your race winner, Twin Turbo V6.
What just happened?
I don't know, but I'm going to set Grab You to do some donuts. If we could have the top 3 lined up on the front stretch. Twins also got in donut perps.
Can I get mod real quick?
You know what? Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's see if that's enough for you to do a donut.
Yes.
Ooh. There's something come to my mind. Did Blue Gen have a penalty? Did Blue Gen have over 35 cuts by the line?
No clue.
I don't think he did.
Okay. We'll check it. Keep it under review. So far, I scored a second. I was just so distraught by that race finish. Alright, Twin.
Yeah, that was freaking random.
Alright. Let's have our podium line up. That's going to be Twin, Triple V6, Blue Sonic Gen, and Performance Engineer. Stick around if you want to get a interview. That was, he was considering staging a disconnect. Crash case stop. We need Blue Gen to the podium here, if they're still around. Or to the front stretch. Here, I'll just move your car for you. Here you go, Blue. Shoot it. Oh, Blue left. Sad. We'll go without him.
Can you blame him?
Admittedly, yes, but I mean that was Twin or Purse race.
Yeah. Midget Jake.
And the other Hispanic person, of course, in the series is gonna fill in for Blue Gen. That's
Nice.
That's a cancelable event on Twitter. Great to see yours still up on the podium. As if we could have Perf stand up front, we're gonna do our little podium shot here. We'll go straight to interviewing Twin. Okay, gonna take it in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now we're gonna mute Twin Triple V6. I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the races ever.
Yeah, I'm just grinning right now.
That had to be the smuggest finish I've ever seen in my life.
I just wanted to have the goofiest finish ever, because I thought Perf going to the pit lane was already funny enough by himself, so I did it 3 more times.
Let me put us up on a flashback real quickly, because that type of finish in the pit lane actually happened back in 2021 with GTI, or 2022 when GTI went around there. I gotta find the stream though.
I don't think I was there. But yeah, I was trying to. Didn't Schumacher win in the pit lane or something?
Something
Like the
around that.
90s?
Yeah.
I was trying to reenact that. I thought that was hilarious.
You did it.
Yeah.
You freaking did it.
No, I think it was a British GP something. I don't know which year. No, Speed 96 is when he had his win by a minute. I don't know. And it doesn't matter.
We're gonna put
That was just the funniest thing I've ever done. Yeah. I was thinking of not doing a pit stop, but I was trying to gain enough time. So I had enough time to actually still win the race in the pit lane. I wasn't sure. And the second I nearly spun out on the penultimate corner, I was like, okay, I'm not sure if I'll do this. But then I hear Blue behind me having some issues, so I just do it anyways. And he ends up hitting the wall, so I guess it works out in the end. But I wanted to go like across the line as like a photo finish or something. I thought that'd be funny. It'd be like the thumbnail or something. But yeah, in all seriousness, though, the race was good. I thought the battles were pretty good between me, Blue, and Perf. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, Perf is, you know how it feels to actually drive a car without ballast now. Yeah, not easy. Not easy.
All right. Oh, thank you there, Twin. I'd like to very briefly bring up one thing before. Specifically, that exact thing happened between, that was Jack Pro PC and Dakir back in GTI back in 2022. Only back then, I didn't say back a lot, the pit lane was on the other side of the track. You'll see here on the stream. As Jack Pro pulled onto the right side, that's the old pit lane. He's in pit speed limiter. As there's Dakar, and he comes across the line and still wins it in the pits. Dakar comes up in second, and then Tenafai's in third, just behind. He was a lap down in fifth there, but that was arguably an even crazier finish than that.
Mm-hmm. That was last year? Yeah.
Yes.
Those cars were quick back then. Holy crap, 118? Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Those were fast. Yeah, I think that
All
must be like the all-time lap record.
Well, we did have Buchen in second here. I think he's winning. We're gonna move on to performance engineer. Again, if I could give you a high five, I'd give you a virtual cookie. I would. I absolutely would. That race was something. So come up in third place today, still on the podium. Not quite a win, but I guess you do have a grasp of how the cars drive. So how are you doing, Perf?
So when I switched cars, the brakes were so delayed. I was like, what is going on? And then like a couple laps later, I was like, okay, it's better now. And then I set like a faster time with the car. I was like, oh, okay, I might be able to catch up. And then I like hit the wall a little bit. I was like, dang.
I don't think I've ever seen a Rotsma race other than the endurance one earlier this year where there was pit stops. So how was it doing a car swap? I kind of.
She's pretty fun. I might do it more often.
All right, perf. So you and Eris had a good little battle there at the end, and what was your thoughts through that one?
I think I might have stressed Eris a little bit because as soon as I got closer, she started making mistakes.
All right, that's honestly unbelievable. Thank you, Perf, for trying to be competitive today. That was
Wait, does SBM get points too? It is their car.
We'll be discussing that one later. But in the meanwhile, again, thank you, Perf. That was I've never seen a race like that before, man. So yeah, we wish you a great time here. All right, we're gonna move now down to Eris Netta. Eris Netta finishing P4 just out of luck, but had a good chance of it at the end. But currently flying around in the rain. I don't think that's FAA approved necessarily, but how was the race today?
I'm busy.
She's busy flying a plane.
Fine.
Looks
I
like
don't
you're
want to
struggling.
talk about what happened at the end.
Fair enough. Yeah, she's not flying very low. She's gonna try to land it. I don't think so. Her plane looks like it's smoking a little bit.
Don't ask.
All right. We'll move on from that one, Eris. Thank you for coming around. We're gonna now move up to the 5th place finisher. That was we're gonna watch that one very quickly. Watching that restart, or watching that race back. Not race back. We didn't have any of those. It was a full green race, which is honestly a surprise for a full rain race. And I'd also like to remind you that Twins swept the entire freaking weekend. Minus the Stock I-4 race, of course. So next down is Nature Channel coming up in 5th place. How was your heart feeling late in that race? That looks like a very tense moment between you and Shuffle for a spot.
Honestly, I don't even know anymore, dude.
I had a lot of fun watching that, I'm not gonna lie. So, anything of note today? At least I know the track, it's a little bit of a different nature towards what you're doing. Usually do ovals, but how's the wet road course today?
Dude, I fucking hate the wet, bro. I love the road courses, but the wet is so shit with these fucking cars because it's literally like driving a boat, no pun intended, with the rain. But the race was decent, I guess, because I had a nice battle with Shuffle the entire race. I think like the final 10 or 6 laps, we swapped positions like 4 different times, so it was a close battle. But other than that, this track is fucking shit with the rain.
You're Californian. Alright. No, in all seriousness,
Turbo.
I'm California. I could be racist against Californians. No.
What?
In all seriousness, though, awesome race around. It was a great battle at the end. So, hope to see you next week. That's going to be a wind bridge, so that's going to be an interesting oval. It's kind of an egg-shaped oval. An egg oval.
Ooh.
Cool. I see you also screwing around on the dirt track. So, is there anyone else here? There's Turbo Stuntman. We'll talk to Turbo here. Then a couple other people. So, Turbo Stuntman. Both unmuted, but you could also chat if you prefer that. So Turbo Stuntman, I don't know if this exactly is the greatest race for you, but certainly what can be confirmed is that it was probably a learning experience. How's the track today? I'm going to assume something around the route of hell. As Turbo has remained silent, we're going to wait a little bit longer, see if he replies or not. I don't believe he's going to reply, so... I honestly believe he would have said something around the route of hell. But we got an oval next week. That's something that definitely helps him out. So that should be almost everyone. We got one more person here. One more person. One person. That is Jason. Jason's our flagman for today, and of course you're going to be paid for your services. You stuck around for the whole race. Not a lot of action per se, not a lot of cautions, but you did stick around to the end.
And I totally did.
How was the race from your perspective?
Oh, it's good. It's an amazing race. At least I get my paycheck at least instead of racing, so good for me.
Very likely.
Overall, I don't like the rain. So next week it also that good for us that it's not going to be the rain situation.
Of course. Yeah, that would have been a bit of a tricky situation having to rain out there, but of course it's going to be another oval race, and oh, Eris is still flying up overhead. I don't know what else to ask necessarily, but how was this weekend for you actually overall, Jason? Would you like to come back to track like this again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's going to be raining next season, then count me in as a flagman again.
Alright. Alright, Jason. Thank you for helping out today. Well, that should be it for our interviews, unless Turbo's not said anything. So yeah, that's it. Alright. Thank you guys for sticking around. I'm gonna now finish up this stream. There might be a chance that here, let me just mute this. I'll just leave, actually. Alright, guys, there's a good chance we might just finish off Northwest Ohio this week, but there's a good chance we might move GTI next week. We were going to run it, but we had a bunch of issues with Studio. Couldn't get it to work, so we're just doing that. But we will be on Wind Ridge on Friday, and make sure to check out the Stock F4s. That's going to be at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. That's, of course, in USPST, as goes for all of our times. Some more oval racing up ahead. See you guys later. Let's close off this stream.